Now at 5, a Webb City elementary student's getting his dream Disney vacation thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Plus, how a bill in Missouri would expand payments for people wrongly convicted of crimes. And how the community of Uvalde, Texas and President Biden are making the 1-year anniversary, marking it since a deadly shooting at Robb Elementary School.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri lawmakers have approved a bill that would allow former state inmates who are proven innocent to receive larger payments if they promise not to sue. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The bill removes the provision of a previous law limiting payments to cases where innocence is proven solely as a result of DNA analysis. If the bill is signed by Governor Mike Parson, inmates who are cleared in a case brought directly to the courts or by a prosecutor seeking judicial review of a conviction would become eligible for the payments. The bill increases the per-day amount from $100 to $179 and bumps up the allowance for annual payment by nearly $30,000 to $65,000. But they would have to give up their right to sue the people who put them behind bars. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy from his home tonight. Doug.
Hey, Dow. We've been tracking some showers and thunderstorms, mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, as we have worked through the afternoon. And you can see these kind of sneaking off toward the north and to the west. But these are going to be scattered about, mainly Kansas and Oklahoma, over the next couple hours. And then once we lose the heating of the day, they will dissipate. But showers, thunderstorms from Iola to Yates Center down toward Fredonia, even a few in Independence, and then across northeastern parts of Missouri. Temperatures where you aren't getting the rain, mainly sitting into the mid-70s right now. Any thunderstorms that do fire up, again, most of these are going to be gone later on tonight. We could get an isolated 1 or 2 after midnight, but that is just about it. Of course, we're going to look into your holiday weekend here in just a bit.
See you soon. A Webb City elementary student is getting his dream Disney vacation thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Abel McCrae's trip was announced during the end-of-school assembly in front of all of his classmates. Abel was born with a medical condition where only half of his heart developed, and by the age of 4 months, he had a heart transplant. Now, third grader Abel is feeling good and excited to get his lightsaber.
I do like to go to that place, which is Star Wars. I kind of like that movie.
We get a lot of kiddos who don't have wish granters, so you click on the link, you sign up for them, and I live here in the Webb City area, so whenever I saw that it was close, I clicked on him, selected him, and then they sent us his information.
Since Abel received his heart transplant at just a few months old, he's been healthy and active. A Joplin High School student is back in town after representing the school on the international level. Anna Barnhart is a junior at JHS with a penchant for science experiments. She spent dozens of hours working with mice, studying how various diets impact simulated Alzheimer's disease responses. That work won her the MSSU Regional Science Fair and several other awards. It also earned her a spot in last week's Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair in Dallas.
So we have our regional science fair. It is at Missouri Southern, and only the top winner goes to goes to the International Science and Engineering Fair. So I was selected by a group of judges.
Only 1,800 students from around the world are invited to that science and engineering fair. Today marks 1 year since a gunman entered a classroom at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, and killed 19 children and 2 teachers and injured 17 others. President Biden remembered those lost and called for Congress to act. Danya Bacchus reports.
Memorials and murals around Uvalde honor the 21 lives lost. For Veronica Mata,
it just makes me feel at peace when I drive by and I see it.
Driving past her daughter Tess's mural and visiting her gravesite is a daily routine.
I have a picture of Tess on my nightstand, and I just look at it and I just tell her, Tess, give me the strength, baby girl, help me get up. Help me get up today.
In the year since the mass shooting at Robb Elementary School, Veronica has joined other families in the fight for answers and change. And for survivors like AJ Martinez, who still has bullet fragments in his body, life will never be the same.
My old son got left in that classroom. This is a new son I have.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't joke around. Sometimes I laugh.
376 law enforcement officers from more than 20 agencies waited for 77 minutes before breaching through a classroom door to stop the shooter. The mayor of Uvalde, Don McLaughlin, is still waiting for the results from the local district attorney's criminal investigation.
In 1 year's time, I've had not one briefing, not one.
President Biden used the one-year observance to once again call for meaningful gun legislation.
How many more parents will live their worst nightmare before we stand up to the gun lobby?
Meta hopes other parents will never have to find out.
All right, baby, we'll see you later. Love you.
Danya Backus, CBS News.
The district attorney tells CBS News she'll determine whether to recommend any charges once the Texas Department of Public Safety and the Texas Rangers finish their criminal investigation. After months of anticipation, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis filed the federal paperwork and officially registered as a presidential candidate. Comes just hours before a planned announcement on social media. DeSantis will be joining a growing Republican field that includes former President Donald Trump, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. Superstar rock, pop, and R&B performer Tina Turner died today after a long illness. Her run of hit records and live shows began in the 1960s and continued for decades. She sold more than 150 million records, won 11 Grammys. You're going to see much more on the life of Tina Turner tonight on the CBS Evening News. Tina Turner was 83. Still ahead, what this year's college graduates can expect when entering the labor force. And next in Health Watch, we're going to have some tips on how to talk to your kids about social media and body image issues. Topping today's Health Watch, a new survey finds most parents think social media image editing apps and filters have a negative influence on their children's body image. Reporter Naomi Ruckham has more.
Body image can be hard enough for young people, and now many parents are concerned new editing apps and filters on social media may be making matters worse. A survey from the Harris poll found 69% of parents of children under 18 think those apps and filters have a negative influence on their child's body image. And 65% of parents agree that social media trends related to appearance, like diet or exercise, have a negative influence on body image. The On Our Sleeves movement for children's mental health encourages parents to talk to their kids about the importance of body positivity. Some tips to get that conversation started: focus on overall health, not weight. Model positive body image yourself. Recognize your child's positive traits or qualities that have nothing to do with appearance. Experts also recommend discussing food neutrally, not labeling foods as good or bad, and incorporating a variety of foods for balanced meals. Experts say a healthy dialogue can help kids explore the benefits of social media while avoiding the pitfalls. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
This week, the U.S. Surgeon General called for tech companies and lawmakers to take immediate action to protect young people's mental health on social media. He's also recommending tech-free zones like mealtimes and nighttime. A study from Northwestern Medicine found CT scans are better than genetics at predicting heart disease in middle-aged patients. Considering conventional risk factors like blood pressure and cholesterol, researchers found looking into genetic data as well did not affect risk category. But after a CT scan, half the study participants moved into the higher risk group. That is a look at today's health news. Doug Heddy's in next with a complete look at the forecast, and a little later, our pet vet on call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Jude from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about fainting goats.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a decent Wednesday for us today. A lot of clouds during the afternoon hours. Plus, we've been tracking some thunderstorms out across southeastern Kansas into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. And you can actually see these lifting off toward the north and to the west, which is a little bit atypical for this time of the year, a little bit more common once we get into the summer months, but not much on the Missouri side. You can actually just see one little thunderstorm in northwest Arkansas. And then we have these showers And scattered thunderstorms from Iola, Yates Center, Fredonia, Chanute, down toward Parsons, Independence. And then these extend into northeastern parts of Oklahoma as well, one just to the south of Bartlesville, Oklahoma. But once we continue to lose the heating of the day for us today, these thunderstorms in general are going to be dying off. A little bit cooler where the clouds are thicker and some rain, mainly upper 60s, and then you get into the 70s once you get out across southwestern Missouri into northwestern Arkansas. A lot of clouds. Here's 7th. Here's range line 75. West northwesterly winds at about 5, but our visibility at 10 miles. If you are getting out throughout the evening hours, again, there's showers on the Kansas and Oklahoma side, but Missouri mainly dry. We'll drop back through the 70s into the 60s, and eventually we'll dip off near 60 later on tonight. So let's step through your next 60 hours for you. Most of our showers that we have out there now pretty much gone by 8 or 9 p.m. But after midnight, we may get a few isolated ones that pop up, especially on the Missouri side, but most of us are going to be dry. As we go into Thursday, again, a lot of clouds popping up. You can see a couple little showers trying to get going late morning into the early afternoon, and then again, scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, very similar to what we have seen today. Temperature is pretty good as we go into lower 80s for highs. And then any thunderstorms that do pop up, these will dissipate as we go into tomorrow evening and then head into Friday. I really think Friday just has a very slight chance for a random storm, but I think most of us will be dry on Friday as we head into the holiday weekend. All right, here's your day plan for you tomorrow. 61 at 7, 81 by noon. High temp right around 83 degrees. And if we do look toward the weekend, it does cool down just a little bit. It's not bad. 83 tomorrow, 80 on Friday. But Saturday looks pretty good, 77. On Sunday, we're going to go to about 81. So most of the weekend looking pretty good. Now, we could get a few thunderstorms back in here on Memorial Day itself. But overall, I think the holiday weekend looks good. I did make a mispunch there. I do promise you it's not going to be 847 degrees next Thursday, so I'll make sure I fix that for final weather.
That is a relief. I was thinking 847 would be pretty warm.
Yeah, it's a little up there.
Yes, it is. Doug, thanks. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the state of the job market for recent college grads. Topping today's Consumer Watch, there are just 8 days left for Congress to pass a bill to raise the debt ceiling and avoid defaulting for the first time in American history. Negotiators met at the White House again today, but a deal does not appear imminent, with Republicans saying they are still far apart. College graduation season is here, and the class of 2023 is about to hit the job market. Nearly 75% of new grads are worried the current economy will affect their job prospects. That's according to Monster.com. As Nancy Chen shows us, they face hiring freezes and layoffs in some industries and might be wondering what's next.
For the class of 2023, it's hard not to get caught up in the excitement and thrill of graduation day.
It's very emotional. I don't think it's hit me yet that I graduated.
But ask these grads what's next, and you'll likely hear a range of responses.
What's next for you guys?
Taking a nice long vacation and then starting work at a bank.
I'm looking for jobs right now. I know it's like peak season for graduates.
I am doing civil engineering. There's a lot of demand.
The job market is really hard right now.
That's because this year's class is entering a bumpy labor market after starting college in fall 2019, just months before the pandemic hit. According to LinkedIn, hiring overall is down 29% since April 2022. While hiring for entry-level jobs requiring a college degree has dropped nearly 32%. CBS News business analyst Jill Sussinger.
Why is it so tough right now? Well, the labor market is really in transition. We had explosive job growth for sort of the first half of the pandemic era, and things started to turn. And when the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates and growth started to slow down, we saw job growth start to decelerate.
Which means even more challenges to navigate, especially with recent layoffs in the tech and finance industries and the rise in AI technology.
What this year's class is stumbling upon is that the industries that many of them thought they would be going into that is not the case. So for instance, many people who thought they'd be going into tech, which has been riddled with layoffs, are actually finding opportunities in retail, travel and tourism.
Are you optimistic? I am. I'm optimistic, I think. I hope.
According to Monster.com, 88% of graduates who are job hunting are confident they will get an offer shortly after graduation, which is an even higher percentage than last year. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Experts say job seekers should focus on building skills and experience rather than getting a certain job title right off the bat. Also, remember to negotiate even in an uncertain market because it could impact pay for years to come. Joplin Workshops opened in 1966 and employs developmentally disabled adults. Currently, they have a staff of 42.
There's really no limit to what they can do, and in fact, one of the things we say, our ability is greater than our disability.
Joplin Workshops is located at 520 South Michigan Avenue in Joplin. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis officially joining the presidential race means for the Republican primary. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the Make-A-Wish Foundation granting a Webb City boy his dream Disney vacation. Plus, why a lawsuit is asking a federal court to strike down Arkansas's U.S. House map as unconstitutional. And we unveil a brand new tool that's going to help us keep you informed during severe weather. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. If you're ever on the go and you want to still be able to watch our newscast live, just download the KOAM Plus app. It's available free of charge in the Apple app, Google Play stores, as well as Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Just search for KOAM Plus. Genetics can pass down all sorts of unusual and sometimes unwelcome traits in various animals. Today's question for our pet vet on call: why do fainting goats pass out?
They don't really pass out. They're completely conscious. This is a situation where these poor creatures are yet another freak of human intervention because we keep breeding this problem, when it would be a problem that Mother Nature itself would eradicate first and fast. The condition is the genetic deformity in the muscles' ability to work properly, so they kind of lock up and get stiff, and these poor little goats fall over. If there's any good to this, it doesn't last very long. They bounce right back, but it's something that makes them fair game, easy game for any predator. So I find nothing funny in this. I think it's really sad.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. Now let's check in with our picks of the litter for the week from the Joplin Humane Society. We have this 9 to 11 month old shepherd mix named Morticia. The shelter says she's high energy, loose, wiggly, and mixes well with other dogs. Also has a big old smile. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have Edwina, a 1-year-old female short-haired cat who is playful but does have dietary restrictions. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? Let's check back with Doug now for a final look at the weather.
Well, we are going to have a few scattered showers and thunderstorms out there over the next couple hours, and then most of these dissipate a little bit later on tonight. High temp into lower 80s tomorrow, still a few more pop-up thunderstorms.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.